Let the cold winds blow like the Ohio. Let the cold winds blow. Think we could harmonize? Justin Hicks.
I don't think we would be able to pull that off, Hank.
Justin Hicks. You remember that name. This kid is going to be a world champion. He's going to hold that Bassmaster Classic trophy one day. He is an awesome kid. I have met him at Angler's Choice Boat Show many, many years ago. We have talked. He is a stick, man. He's won a bunch of tournaments, and he is one awesome guy. His whole family, his dad, his sister, I've met his whole gang, and they are awesome people. And today we're hooking up with Justin on his home lake to see if we can't catch one on Smith Mountain. So you stay with me. I'm Hank Parker. Well, I'm gonna miss her when I get home. Right now I'm on that lake shore. Brad Paisley and I fished together. He said I was the worst singer he ever heard. I said, well, Brad, you about the worst fisherman I ever fished with, so I guess we're about even. That's bigger than the first TV I ever had. Solix 15, but I left my map chip. I need a mid-Atlantic, and it's in my other boat. Smith Mountain, Virginia. You know, I hadn't fished Smith Mountain forever, and the reason I'm going is to fish with Justin Hicks. I met Justin at Angler's Choice Boat Show many years ago. And you know, I fished a lot of events for FLW, and I'd analyzed the pros. The minute I fished with Brent Ayler, I could tell you he was something special. Of course, I fished with Kevin Van Dam, and I could tell you real quick, and it's no secret to the whole world, he's something special. Justin Hicks is somebody special. He's special. Just talking to him, I knew he had it. He's got everything. He's got the mental toughness. He's got the humble attitude. He's got the aggressive personality. And more than anything else, he's got the passion for the sport. And that is the key ingredient. He loves it so much. And I knew just talking to him. So I wasn't a bit surprised when I got in the boat with him and saw that he had incredible mechanics. Here comes the sun. How many you caught yet?
None. How about you?
I don't have any big ones at all. We were skipping, sinking worms or generals or Cincos. We were skipping these things under the boat dock. Now for me, I'm gonna use a spinning reel. He could skip them under there with casting, put that thing right where he wanted. He could do it with spinning. He could do it left-handed, right-handed, in between. He could drop kick them in there, I believe. He could put that rascal right where he wanted it. Got him?
I got a Justin Hicks fish out of a Hank Parker fish.
You need a net?
No, I got it.
And so that is kind of the key that we started focusing on. I felt like there should be some spawning fish, so the whole time we're fishing, we're looking for bedding fish. Now, Smith Mountain is not that big of a lake. They just had a tournament for the weekend, and we're starting to fish on Monday. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they had a tournament with maybe 1,000 boats, 2,000 people. I'm not totally sure on that, but it was a tremendous number of fishermen. Nice fish, Justin. We got a little bit of a front to deal with, which is not good because it'd been really warm and now all of a sudden it's getting cool. So we had a lot of different factors, but you consider all of that. So he really felt like the key was going to be to go in there and skip those sinking baits up under those docks. So that was a great bait of choice, and we caught them on it. I'm gonna have him mounted. And the whole time we were doing that, of course, we were looking for bedding fish. I'm proud of him. Caught him all by myself. You didn't even have to set the hook for me or nothing. I did it all.
There's a creek arm up here, it goes to the left.
Okay. Now, I thought all along the bait of choice was going to be the cutter. Berkley makes this bait, they've got a 90 and a 110, and these are the most consistent running suspending jerk baits that I've ever used. I really, really like this cutter series. So we're both using cutters, we're both using sinking worms. We've got a variety of lures. He's throwing this big topwater bait, he's throwing this big swim bait. He's got all kinds of things that he's throwing, and I'm just basically sticking to fishing that jerk bait and fishing that sinking worm and looking for bedding fish. So we're covering a lot of water. And normally when I fish with a person, because I am so set in my ways, I have to run the boat. Rarely does anybody run a boat to suit me. They're either too close to the dock, too far away from the dock, they're doing this or they're doing. Boat position to me is critical for catching fish. Boat position is critical for making lure presentation. He had all that down pat. And he's reading the water well. He could run it, I could run it, we'd go here, we'd go there. We fished together like we'd been fishing partners in tournaments for 20 years. I mean, it was smooth. So we worked.
I got one.
Got a fish? Oh yeah, bass fish.
Smallmouth.
Oh, it is a smallmouth. Looky here, a smallmouth. Smallmouth bass on Smith Mountain. Way to go, brother. Well, 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 it's in the middle of the day. We are struggling, and I've got a young, enthused guest. What do you say?
Well, with this water warming up, you'd think they'd, get more active, and they should. We should start catching them here shortly.
So in 30 minutes, we're gonna put 15 in the boat?
I hope so, but I'd be happy with a couple.
Okay. All right, that's where we are. Just giving a quick update. There he is, that's that fish. I guarantee you, that's where that fish moved to. You know what, I guarantee you, that's where that fish was when we left. That's awesome, good job, buddy. That's exactly where that fish moved to.
Yeah. There's one.
Fish, get him, boy. A bass. Could start getting better. We just decided that we're gonna run and hit the very last docks, pocket to pocket to pocket to pocket. This is dock number 3 in line, so that worked so far. We got something going. It's the first time we've been encouraged that we've had a little something going. Fish. Bass fish. Warming up. Ah, you're getting better. You would have laid that in old Uncle Hank's carpet. Here's a fish. I'm liking this.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, go boldly. This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkley. Catch more fish. Now it's time for Hank's Tip of the Day.
We know power bait's good, but there's some things we were missing. So we put out about 30-some new shapes, I think, this year. I can't remember them all if I had to, but a lot of things that we needed. This one we did with Bobby Lane called the Rib Toad. We've always needed a buzzing frog, and we've never had a good one. Well, this thing's top shelf. We spent about 3 weeks in the lab and let Bobby fish it for about 3 weeks, and we made us a good frog.
Man, it looks different. Boy, I like it's a lot of body to this toad, way more body. What I like to do with this Fusion offset hook, I like to rig it through just like I did. I went in about 1 inch, is about what I did. I like to hold it tight and then choke up. Go way back here in the body and get that hook to come all the way through. See how I got that hook all the way through? All right, now, just put that tip of that hook back in there. So you're still weedless. I can slide my hand over it and not have any problem, but watch this. Doesn't take much at all to get that hook to come through. All right, let's see how this toad's gonna buzz.
So one of the things we want, that big body gives you weight for casting, and it gives you body for durability. Two things you need in a frog, right?
And it helps you keep this bait moving with all that weight and not jumping out of the water. There's no doubt about it, it will buzz.
He wanted it, he never wanted anything that frothed the water. There's some things out there that'll boil the water like a buzz bait. He did not want that. He wanted more of something a little finessey.
It's a kicking frog, look at it.
But the thing, the key thing is it never stops moving. And there's a lot of those big frog legs that put out the big splashing. They're too thick, and if you slow them down, they don't move. So then you're not fishing. This thing fishes all the time.
That will work. Look at this frog. Stretchy legs, curl claws.
The other nice thing about this is if a fish blows up on it and you just dead stick it, drop it back in the hole, well, guess what? You got power bait working for you at that point in time.
I like that. Great. And what is it called?
The power bait rib toad.
The power bait rib toad. I like it. It looks like another fish on that corner where that sun's shining there a while ago, I saw.
Oh gosh, there's a monster.
I see him, he's coming after your bait, 2 of them, 3 of them. Finally, after looking at bay after bay after pocket after pocket after pocket, we found some fish on the bed. Some good fish.
See it?
I do see it.
Oh, there she is.
That's them 2.
We may be able to catch him, old Hank Parker.
I think they had just moved up. I think we just hit it perfect within an hour or so.
Oh, has he got it? I seen his mouth, Hank.
I know, he came after it. When I met Justin, I knew that he had what it takes just by talking to him. A lot of people say, well, he's just a kid. But, you know, I remember when I was just 17 years old, you know, and they thought, man, you're too young to be in there, that kid. Well, I won a lot of tournaments. I got her. I got her. There's a lot of advantages to being a kid. And you don't have any physical drawbacks. There are a lot of stuff going for you. But the mental attitude is really unusual for a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience. And when I say doesn't have a lot of experience, you can't have a lot of experience at 20 years old. I mean, you hadn't been fishing long enough to have a lot of experience, you're just a kid. So most people develop a lot of confidence with years and years and years of success. Man, he's got it. It's a special quality. How about that? To be able to be humble and sure of yourself at the same time and have all those ingredients and know what you're doing, and this kid's got that. Now I'm gonna say all this and I want you to just shut up, because he ain't gonna like this. He's got eyes like an eagle. He saw that bass that I just caught. He could have caught that bass, but he didn't. He saved that bass for me to catch because he's catching more fish than I am today. So he was playing turnabout as fair play. So he allowed me to catch that fish. But his name's Justin Hicks, and you're gonna see him one day at the top of the Bassmaster Classic leaderboard. But the purpose that I came up here was to showcase. This guy's won on Erie. Where else did you win?
Kentucky Lake.
Kentucky Lake. He finished second here just a couple weeks ago with over 20 pounds. He's just an awesome guy. But we are really struggling, and he wants us to catch fish so bad that he feels bad. But he allowed me to catch that fish, and we're working hard. And sometimes the trait of a great fisherman is a guy that will work hard and not get down when things are tough.
Has he got it? Seen them old jaws flare out.
Yeah, he flared at it. Jimmy Knuckles, we caught that guy. We caught it primarily because you saw her and you let me fish for her.
This is Hank Parker's show, not Justin Hicks.
Hey, it's both, brother.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild.
You know, one of the biggest struggles of being successful as a fisherman is never have all these preconceived ideas before you get to the lake. Wait till you get on the water to judge and evaluate what you're gonna do. And I really liked it when I hooked up with Justin. We talked about it, and he said, well, we'll just have to see. Perfect, that's exactly the way I feel in my mind. I think we can do this, or I think we can do that. We might have a starting point, but I'm really open to whatever the lake tells me.
I don't know, you think? I got one tied on.
If I can find some off-colored water where it's running a creek, then maybe I can use a spinnerbait. If I find nothing but crystal clear water, maybe I need to use 6 or 8 pound test line and really downside. Whatever the lake is telling me to do, that's what you need to do. And that's what we did every hour of every day. Some people say, well, lake changes every day. Every day? Lake changes every hour, every 15 minutes. And that's what we did. We stayed up with all those little changes and stayed open-minded and selected the lures that would allow us to fish the conditions at that minute. In the back. And that will help you catch fish. I don't care who you are or where you go. Always be willing to adapt. And a fishing lure is nothing but a tool. Man, if you need to change tools to do a job, change that tool. That's what we did, and it paid off. Do it, boy. I can't get this one to bite. He's gonna get that thing.
You gotta get him to line up right.
Let me see where he's at. Do you see him now?
No. Yeah, I see him. He's right behind that middle pole.
Okay.
Right where he was.
He looked like he went after it. He bit it one time.
Playing hard to get.
Look right here.
Should be able to just drag it right in front of him and fight it.
I'll be darned, he got him. Stay with him. Stay with him. Don't let him break your line. Hey, don't go away. Old Justin's gonna catch another one. We'll be right back. I threw on that fish 50 times. He threw in there a second time and caught it. It's a good one, too.
I'm trying some
Try line, brother. I thought she had you around that piling. I thought you was in trouble. A good one.
Hank Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. And by Minn Kota. Soft Science. Solar Bat. And Talon.
There's one up under that dang on boat.
Finally, we found some fish on the bed. And so it was just a matter of covering water, keeping your eyes peeled,
Quick release.
paying attention to detail, and then having the right equipment to catch the fish that you found. We hung around, we fished for a day and a half, and he's a really cool kid. He's got a humble spirit, but he's got it up
You're
here.
gonna catch them on dirt bait. They're out a little deep.
So I really, really enjoyed it. Caught one really good smallmouth on the cutter, and we caught quite a few on the sinking worms under the boat docks, and then we caught some really good ones spawning. And he finally caught a big one on his top water bait that he threw for a while, and maybe one or two on his swim bait. So it was a variety of reading the water, picking up the right bait at the right time, and covering the water, and persevere. Stay consistent, never give up kind of attitude, and he had that, and man, we caught him and had a ball. I'm impressed with him. We had a great day. That's what we're looking for. Need help or you all right?
I got it.
Hey, I told you this kid's a stick now. He wore me out. I could not stay with him. This kid, I'm telling you, he's gonna be a world champion. He's got determination, he's got perseverance, he's got the right attitude, and he's just got an uncanny fishing ability to read the water. And I watch him, I watch those wheels roll. What a delight for me to fish with. He reminded me of the way I used to feel 25 or 30 years ago. Man, he's got it.
Man, them little ones are stacked.
And it was so exciting. And I love these young guys. Man, Our sport is in great shape. What an ambassador for the sport, and we're going to see a lot of his name in the future. It was a great day on Smith Mountain. We worked. It was not easy, but Justin kept digging, man, and I like it. He took all the pressure off of me, and Smith Mountain is a great lake. Getting a lot of fishing pressure. We followed a great big tournament, but it was a lot of fun figuring it all out under all those conditions. Wind blew, weather was unstable, big tournament, all the bad stuff, but that's where a really good fisherman shines, and that's what you saw out of Justin. And it was a wonderful time for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll be back with me next week. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.